Hey there, if you're playing around with an mr16 LED lamp, LED bulb, I've got a 12 volt 7 watt. It was very difficult for me to get it to light depending on what adapter I ran on DC. You're doing it wrong. You need either a LED driver circuit in between your 12 volts DC and the lamp, or run it off 12 volts AC. That's the secret. So this is an AC to AC adapter. It's 9 volts, 780 milliamp, rated at 15 watts. And I'm slamming this lamp. This is a 12 volt, 7 watt mr16 LED bulb. I saw this light at I fell in love with it. I had to have it. It's such a cool desk lamp. It looks like something sci-fi retro or from the Death Star. It's got a click and a pot. So what was in here was a halogen, was AC 75 watt transformer with a real lot of ins and outs. There was 3 wires for the pot, a single wire or a pair of wires to go to the switch, the on and off switch, a pair of wires for the input for the AC 110 volts coming in, and then a pair of wires for the output. And that thing was smoked. It was dead when I bought this. Now it had a halogen bulb in it, and I've run those halogen mr16 style bulbs. I love those. I use it for a floodlight in the kitchen for when I'm working. I hit this thing and it's way too much light. It's a 12 volt bulb and I run it off of like 16 volts off of an IBM laptop power supply, like a brick. And they do, I think they don't really have that long of a lifespan when I'm running it, overvolting it, and it's so bright and so hot, but it's really a lot of light, and I find those bulbs cheap. I can get them 50 cents all day, every day at the resale store. So that's just how I do it, you know. And at the time, I knew it was overvolting it, and I knew it would just make it a little brighter and a little hotter, and that's just my choice, right? So these LED bulbs, this particular one, it had an auto shut off if I was hitting it with too much current. Rather than frying itself, it just disables itself. So I couldn't get it to light. I was playing around with this, trying to get this light to work. This is going back months ago. And I found one power supply that it actually worked. So I adapted everything. I eliminated the AC cable because it was kind of a big wall wart, and ran this female 2.1 mil inner diameter DC connector here, female. So you just plug that in and go from there. And then, of course, when I ran it, 10 minutes in, this thing shuts off. The power supply can't handle it. So I bought this, which I really thought would work. It's a LED driver from eBay. And this one is rated at 7 watts. It's 4 to 7 watt AC, 85 to 265 volts in. DC output 12 to 26 volts at 300 milliamp. And it's putting out 29 volts, but it's too much current. If I put some kind of a current limiting resistor, again, these are made for multiple. Like if I had like 4 of these bulbs, this would work. So some kind of resistor maybe, I don't know. If I played around with this with some resistor and capacitor, but I don't know if that would create heat. Would it, I just want to get the lamp to light. So looking it up, they said that most of these transformers and these installations are done with AC. I didn't realize that. So that's my tip and my big lecture about this stuff for myself. This video is for me. This is for next time, because I really love LED bulbs or anything other than the old incandescent that creates all that heat and inefficiency. What I do like about the incandescent is the color temperatures. Like this here is really harsh, and this is really too soft. This is too, I look Little House on the Prairie or some shit here, So, in the summer, I'm fighting all this humidity and got the air conditioner running, and then I've got all these super hot lamps running in every room and computers. So anything I can do to switch over to LED, I've been doing that when I can. And it's just different. It's different. And I'll tell you what, if I got an LED driver, a 12 volt driver, and put that in between the output of this and the bulb probably would work. But that was another like $5 or $6. So, and it's confusing about the ratings and all that. I asked a lighting supply house, I asked them, I was like, hey, I've got this mr16 12 volt 7 watt bulb. What do I need for the guts of this thing for the power supply or LED driver? What can you sell me that's the cheapest way to light this fucking thing? So I got to see if they answer me. But basically, for my own, in the future, moving forward, don't play around with DC. Just go for an AC power supply, and that's probably going to solve your problem. So I'm going to hook this one up and then run it. I got to see, is it going to run? Is it going to shut itself off? I think I'm going to be fine. I don't really need the dimmer, although it would be really nice. Eventually, you know, I'm going to be looking every time I go to the resale store for lamps, and when I see a lamp that has that dimmer and a LED bulb, it's coming home with me, and I'm going to take it apart and install it all in this lamp and do it right. I'm hoping just find another one of these. I don't know where this came from. It's a really heavy, it's just a beautiful lamp. I would love to have more of these. Really like this lamp. So anyway, guys, that's the video. I do realize I don't know what I'm talking about with this stuff. And me, the way that I tend to do things is not order a bunch of stuff from a supply house, have it come up to be $45 or whatever. I'd rather just go in the closet and get something that works, and that's this AC adapter. So if you're going to get all furious at me, keep in mind this video is not about doing it right. It's about doing it for free. That's what it's about. And I've never started a fire yet, so maybe just calm down. Okay? Take care of yourselves. Always keep an open mind. A mind is like a parachute, works best when open, right? Frank Zappa said that. Take care of yourselves, and peace.